Hold on. Microphone. Before the comments have even come up, I'm like, hold on, microphone. But yes, you are right. I am quite shattered. Shattered? Gosh, that sounded a bit dodgy, doesn't it? A bit shattered. But feeling really good. We've had a really, really good weekend this weekend. Really, really enjoyed it with the ladies. And you know what? I say it every time, but our workshops with the collective, I love it because we're so different. And I love it. I love it. And watching them, and I watched all the workshops because it's my sort of switcher. So I want to make sure it all goes right. But it's just, I really, really, really enjoy them, and like seeing everybody's creations, how different everything is. Oh, it's fabulous, absolutely fabulous. But yeah, so it was a really good weekend, really nice workshops. Obviously, been prepping for other stuff that I've got going on. Done a few hours prepping for this. So it's been busy, but it's lovely, but I am tired. Let's have a look who's in the building. So we've got our David. Hi David, hi Sylvia, Suzanne. We've got our Julie, Fiona, that's better. I know, I do it every time. Deborah, who else have we got? Got our Mandy, hi love. Got Jenny, Rura Jane. Hello there, Rura, who's been joining us this weekend. Jackie. We've had Jack in the workshop, Karina, Marianne, Paula, who else? Wow, there's loads here. Penelope, Vanessa. Oh, how very, very lovely. Thank you for everything you've done over the weekend, Jackie. Thank you for joining us. Angela, Christine, and I tell you what, Jackie's, the thing that Erica did, you did really well, Jackie. You did really well. Because it was proper, wasn't it? That were good. Our Sharon's in the building. Hello. Can you still do workshops? Yes, Julie. So the online workshop that we've done today, yes, you can still buy it. So basically, on the website, what Erica will do, she'll redo it and put it in a different bit so you can buy it. And what we do after the live workshop, we put it all in one kind of group, if you will, and then when someone buys it, we just send a link for that, so you've got all 4 workshops, plus there's extras. So there's downloads, like Paula did loads of downloads for it, Erica did downloads for hers, I did extra, just a tiny little extra video just giving ideas how to complete the book. Where did I put the book? I'll show you before I send it out, actually. And actually, this workshop that I've just done, hold on a second. So obviously the workshop that we've just done, I'm going to be repeating, maybe not repeating exact, because nothing's exact, is it? But I'm going to be doing the workshop when I do, oh, for goodness sake, when I do the workshop, we've got one coming up with indigo blue. So I'm going to be doing some of the techniques, but they're never the same. Even if you sort of plan it to be the same, they're never the same. So we're going to be doing this kind of thing. So if you are coming to the indigo blue one, we're going to be doing this kind of thing. But if you want the online one with all of us, and honestly, I love it. Look at that print. So pleased with that. So this is a book that we made. What have I done there? Glued it together. I've glued my book together. How have I done that? What have I done? I don't know what I've done there. It's okay. I've fixed it. I've just ripped it apart. But yeah, we're well chuffed with it. And we've done like little pages that pull out. And like there's all sorts. That's my favourite one though. Well cool, isn't it? So that was the workshop, and I did that, and that was only mine. Paula did a beautiful little book and the cover. Our Erica's was just blew me away. She was teaching how to do a portrait drawing, which was phenomenal. And then our lovely Claire was doing loads of different techniques with embossing folders. So it was a real mixture. And everyone, everything's fine now, David? Is it muted on screen? No, everything should be fine. Everybody can hear me now. What's the greenery in the corner? Yes. Well, that's what we were doing. We were doing prints with the workshop. So yes, I have got loads of greenery, and I kind of like keeping this on my desk. It kind of looks cool. It makes my desk look cool. But that's what we were doing at workshop. So all these prints are using Sticky Willies and more. I did actually say to people, like, I've been picking some Sticky Willy, got it on my desk, and I did think of you lot. Oh, got to finish off yours tomorrow. I tell you, it was busy, wasn't it? We did do a lot, and I do think it's not just blowing our own trumpet, but I am doing it. I think it's really good value for money. It's 40 quid, and we all do 2 hours each. That's proper good value for money, isn't it? I think. Sticky Willy. Yeah, I didn't use my Sticky Willy though, which is very rude, isn't it? And now I can't even see it. Lost my Sticky Willy. Maybe I don't know what I did with me. Anyway, stop talking about Sticky Willies. I'll just stick this over here because that was yesterday. That was only yesterday. That was yesterday. I can't cope. Sorry. I know, we do talk about it rather a lot. With every penny. I'm so pleased, Ruby Jane. Still finding, oh my gosh, Ruby Jane. Literally, I've got them all over the floor. I'm the same. I've got weeds everywhere. Isn't it funny? We're all in the same boat. But yeah, everyone did so well. Oh, thank you, Di. Amazing value for money. It is worth it for us, Di, because it's online, so it does make it really easy for us actually. And it's just nice. It's just nice to do. Oh, trouble getting signal. Oh, Glynis. Do you need to move around your house? I mean, this is working okay. I've still got buttercups and Sticky Willy in my jar. Oh, Fiona, you're going to have to do more then. Obviously, you're going to have to do more. Oh, Fiona was on as well. It's lovely, everybody. Yes, exactly, Sue. Not weeds, just wildflowers that grow in the wrong place according to human beings. Human beings who are obsessed with cutting the grass. I mean, oh, don't. Human beings who use weed killer. When actually, when you look at that, I love that. I think that's beautiful. And they're apparently weeds. Yeah, no, I'm not obsessed about cutting lawns. For me, there's no worse than seeing a lawn that's really short and gone brown because it's sunshine, when actually you can see one that's got all different flowers and teeming with things. Anyway, humans in it. Right then. I'll shut up. Now then, Debbie, you won't be disappointed. Oh, thank you so much, Jackie. Thank you. I need to cut my grass. Who did the no more me? No more me. Who did it? I bet a lot of people didn't. Oh, I tell you, when I had to move out of my last house and I had to cut the grass, and I hate it. I like long grass. Yeah. Anyway, it's not about lawns, is it? And I know I'm not with, not with the masses on the lawns. Let's get demoing now then, everybody. It's so funny because I do so many lives with our lovely All and Create. I feel that I need to run through loads of things. I don't need to run through loads of things. What I do need to run through, however, and I am well excited, and this is all down to our lovely Lou again. Lou has sent us to play with today and to sell on our website. Look at this, everyone. Oh my gosh, did anyone see the unboxing video? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited by this. All of these. Now, what these are, in fact, I'm going to turn my camera around so I can actually show you proper. So, what these are, the Tim Holtz. Now, you might have seen them, you might not. They might be completely new to you, but they have been out before, but they used to be rubber stamps because it's Stampers Anonymous. So obviously I'm going to turn my top light off. I've always wondered who decides which plants are. I know, right, Terry Kim, I know. Who decides? Oh, does my head in. who makes decisions? It'll be someone, wouldn't it, who were trying to cut grass or something, grow something. Now, these are, and still are, rubber stamps. Now, I love rubber stamps. They're absolutely fabulous. However, they're more expensive. And of course, if you want to layer, they're a bit trickier to layer. You can still do it, but they're a bit trickier to layer. So they've made them into clear stamps. Just a selection, not everything, because obviously the archive is huge, just a selection. Not only have you got some seriously cool stamps, but then we've got the stencils to go with. Now, to say I'm going to show the stencil on the packaging like that and the stamp like that. To say I'm excited about this is just an understatement. They're gorgeous. I love the stencils because you've got multiple prints, which is just fantastic. But then the stamps. Now, we've got offers for you. So, believe it or not, I've got water. I've got no water. Which is something, isn't it? I am using water. Nettles, yeah, nettles are... But nettles, really, isn't it funny? I'll tell you the other thing that makes me ponder. See, who decides what's a weed and what's a herb? Because nettles are really good for loads of things, aren't they? You know, but someone decides... It's funny, isn't it? Who decides? Anyway... so we've got a really good offer. And the good prices. We've got a decent price, competitive prices, but tonight for 24 hours you can get 10% off all the Tim Holtz range. That means the stamps and stencils, we've got embossing glazes, and we've got the normal ink pads. We've also got some extra goodies, and I'll be talking about them, but you can get 10% off all of these. Okay? Absolutely cool. And the designs are excellent. I love these. And look at them. Toxic. We've just been talking about all the things, haven't we? There are so many cool designs. And the stencils are ace. So 10% off everything and double points. So if you are part of our loyalty club, please be part of our loyalty club. Why would you not be? Be part of our loyalty club. If you're part of the loyalty club, you will be able to get double points. Points make prizes. And if your order is over, it's 30 quid, isn't it, man? Free postage and packaging. I've got favourites, obviously. Love that. I love that. How cool is he? He's fabulous. The future belongs to the curious. That stencil, favourite already. Absolutely fabulous. Love it. I know. Aren't they cool? Oh my gosh, Vanessa, you have to join. You have to join the loyalty programme. You get double points and you will get money off. You do get money off. They're all... Now, our Lou, free postage over 30 quid as well. Our Lou has picked these for us, and obviously she showed me what... She was like, do you like all these? Yes, they are seriously cool. I mean, look at that. I love these. How old? What's up? Guess who? You're good. Just look at that. Oh, they're so good. Do you know what? I've been doing that. I've been prepping for 2 hours. I've literally got one thing to show you that's finished, but I love it. And I hope you can see there's kind of a glaze on that. The glaze is cool, Lou. I'm loving it. But this is just so me. Look, I've got all this ready to do something with. I honestly, folks, I do my own head in, because it's like, oh, brilliant. One finished sample that's not even really finished, but a pile of stuff, because I got carried away with this product. Literally carried. I have literally gone through everything, single stencil to use the resist spray. Every single stencil, which means I bet I've used almost half a bottle because I got carried away. But we'll come to that. Let me keep showing you these. So amazing. I love these. They always remind me of Fawlty Towers. Not Fawlty Towers, of Thingy. You know exactly what I mean. false stars, but not false stars. That is brilliant. Backgrounds, layers, absolutely fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Hello there, Penelope. I'm feeling very well. I'm feeling very well. Slightly sleepy, but very well. I had a beautiful walk with dogs this morning, which just cheered my soul. Look at that. Love this. I love it because you've got that gorgeous print in the background, then the lovely flower and the butterfly. Absolutely adorable. Stencils which work for so many things. You know, we are talking about... we're talking about backgrounds. There's so many ways of using these. We're talking about main images. They are classic stencils. This is another one of my favourites because it's birds and because the silhouettes. I love silhouettes. And I really like the script. I think that's really nice. You know, the actual sentiments. Happy thoughts, miss you, hello friend. Really like that. I think that is seriously cool. You can get 10% off everything. And I tell you what, it is free to join that rewards club. So Mandy's just put on how to join actually. All you have to do, that's the one. So there's a reward icon on our website. If you click that, then that's how you join the club. Okay, so Monty Python. That's it. That's the one. Yeah, absolutely. Slowpoke. What's that? What are you talking about? I don't know what that's about, Lillian, but that's hilarious. That's beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. And the detail is exquisite. Go where you feel most alive. Never lose your sense of wonder. Aren't they cool? So in each pack, you are getting, why do I balance things where I shouldn't? You are getting multiple stamps. And then, of course, you're getting 2 designs on each stencil. At least 2 designs on each stencil. Absolutely stunning. Really, really lovely. Really, really cool. So, we've got all the stencils. We've got all the stamps. Okay? So, there's 10% off all of those if you're getting in the next 24 hours. So, really good prices on those. We've then got tons of beautiful glazes. And the embossing glazes. Now, if you haven't used... I'd love to say I've done loads of swatches. I haven't, because I've been doing my resist thing. That's what I've been doing. But yeah, the set with the butterflies is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. They all are. The glazes. Now it's embossing powder, but they're designed to match, obviously, the ink pads. And they're going to match when you've actually melted them. That's when they're going to match. Now, it's a glaze. So what it's going to do is be clear so you can see through it. So it'll give you like that. So it gives you the beautiful shine, but it's not opaque. So it means, say you put one of the colours underneath, so say saltwater taffy for instance, and then put the glaze over the top, it'll make the actual colour more intense. So it makes it darker, it makes it, oh, don't worry, Lou. I had a plan, but, you know, I got carried away. I actually just got carried away with the resist spray. And that right then. I do things like that all the time. And part of my brain were like, Leonie, but I ignored it and carried on because I were having a lovely time. And because I got my water out. I never get water out. I like small, well, I like all stencils. I also love huge stencils. So, you know. There you go. But yeah, the glaze will go on anything. So it's going to go, because it's a plastic, so it's going to go on all your cardstock, but of course it's going to go on metal embellishments, etc. So you can put your glaze on anything. Obviously, it's an embossing glaze, so how are you going to stick it on? Of course, you can use your Versamark. Of course, we love Versamark, but you can use other stuff. Now, Distress, of course, Distress. Distress Oxide stays open a little bit longer. Your normal Distress does dry relatively quick. I've already mixed my powders up. I put them all on the powder with the ink pad, already mixed it up. But if you're quick, you can get quite a nice texture, which is lovely. And it does give you quite a nice Distress fit. Oh, dipping my shirt in my water. Hello there, Barbara. Thank you for joining us. So you can get a really nice distress finish. However, we've got other products. So first of all, now who's used this? Or more importantly, who hasn't used this? So this is the Distress Resist Spray. Now, what this has been designed to do is create a resist, as the name suggests. So have a look at this, and this is what I've been spending my time doing. Now, on that paper, when you look initially, it's just one of my background papers. However, if I do this, can you see the texture? It's got texture. Not only has it got texture, but it's got design. So, for instance, if I bring in, and look at that. I've got a pile, not that. I've got a pile to go through because I got carried away with this. So if I bring in my ink pad now, I'm going to use a blue, so I'm going prize ribbon. And now then, hold on a minute. See, I'm using the wrong things really, because I've got my sponges. I've all got thingy on, that's better. My sponges have all got Distress Oxide on them, and you have to be careful because really your oxide and your, now let's go direct to paper because of the amount of space. Direct to paper. Okay, now immediately you're going to start seeing, so where there's no resist spray, and I know I'm just covering it in blue, but you'll see why in a minute. And then let's work this in. So now I've got the ink on my page. Let's work it in. So now hopefully you can start to see that design underneath. There you go. Start to pop. So obviously where I didn't put the spray, you're not getting anything. You're going to just cover the page like normal. But where I have put the spray, it will resist. Now, I have actually been very, very good. I have actually dug out a box and I have been spraying in the box. Yes, this is me. However, I've been spraying in the actual box, so I didn't get it everywhere. Also, has it sold out? I don't know. I mean, I'm presuming it's on. Mandy will have a look for you. Mandy will have a look. I'm not sure, or Deborah. I should imagine it's there, but I know Mandy and Lou are all on hand, so they'll be able to help. So have we got the distress spray sat there on the website, please, ladies? And if we haven't, is there something we can do? Now, look. I am so pleased with this, because have a look. Can you see that? Boom, distress. So we can see underneath it, but it's resisted and it's quick. It's quick and it's easy, but it does stick to everything, which is why, I'm just going over with a wet paper towel, which is why I have covered, I've not actually worked on an open surface, I've actually worked in a box, and I have cleaned my stencils after, which is why I've got water right next to me, which I keep putting my sleeve in. Now look at this though. Now I'm going over it top with a wet paper towel, so look how much that makes it pop. I'm being good. I know, right, Brian? Weird, isn't it? What's that about? I didn't trust myself. Look at this. Can you see that texture there? That's a resist spray. How cool is that? Isn't that nice? I love that. I love that. Now, the resist spray, of course, it works as a resist, but you can also, if you're quick, it stays open. Obviously, now I'm going to tell you it dries quick. Or in my room, it's been drying so quick. So, but if you are quick, you can get your embossing powder on. I think it'll depend on your room, okay? But I've done it, and the first one I did, it didn't. I was too slow. But I mean, how cool is that? But look at this. acetate. It goes on acetate. So it goes on acetate. It goes, obviously, your black card. It goes on, so it goes on loads of different surfaces. It goes on, I've got it on vellum. I told you, yes, for a stone look, it's amazing. So you might be going through a stencil, but you might just be going onto white cardstock. So let's go onto white cardstock with it. I'm going to use some lumberjack plaid, and I'm going to use, what shall I use? Let's use pickled raspberry, because it's rude not to, right? But let's do, this is when having that tub of water is proper annoying. But let's do this, right? So I've already put the resist spray on there, which I will show you how to do. Let's just do our inky, lovely inky background. So lumberjack plaid and pickled raspberry, picked raspberry. Now, we're doing normal distress as opposed to oxide. Of course you can use oxides, but it feels like I don't use normal distress enough. I always go for oxides, so it's really nice to find my normal distress. I do a lot of distress, but it's good to find my normal distress. Do you know what I mean? We're back to thingy, aren't we? We're back to thingy. It's going to be one of them evenings, isn't it? Where I've got loads of references but can't remember any. Good grief, I got a cloth out to tidy then. Do you have the stem sponges? Is that what they're called? Now then, Christine, are you talking about that? Are you talking about that? If so, no. These ones are Ulta New. And these ones, yeah, I'm a bit sleepy. And these I got on when I were demonstrating for Ulta New. So I'm so sorry, no, I haven't got those. We haven't got those on the website. Which is a shame because they are really cool. Look at this, look at this. It goes on without sinking in. It goes on to grey board. And you know what grey board's like? Grey board's, you know, it's just so porous, isn't it? Let's put, I've done so many backgrounds, everybody. It is ridiculous. So many backgrounds. Let's have a see. And I will show you how to use it in a minute. I won't just do loads of backgrounds, but I love doing this. Now I'm going to pick up some of that ink now that's left on there and go with a different colour. Let's go with a blue. So let's go a little bit Salty Ocean. And let's go Prize Ribbon. Okay. We've got 10% off all your ink pads as well. So have a look. Do we not have the... did we have the resist spray, man? Did that get sorted? Did that get sorted? Have we got the resist spray? I didn't see answer for that. So, popping that on, spritzing it, and now popping that back in again. So just touching it in. The reason I'm doing it on the mat, if you are brand new to any of the distress products, the reason I'm doing it on the mat is so you get the blobs. The blobs are really important. More homework packs. Oh, I haven't done them yet, kid. Blinking heck out. Oh, lovely, Sylvia. I haven't had time to do homework packs. I've been collating stuff to put in them. A lot of stuff. But I haven't had time to put them together. But now let me show you this. And I love this. I dropped this in water by accident, so I weren't sure if it would work. But look how that's worked. Aren't they cool? Aren't they cool? I am doing backgrounds. I'm hoping though to actually finish something because I've got some stamps. I want to actually put something together. Now, the heat, it can handle heat. It isn't heat reactive. So it means, oh, Julie, that's a subtle hint. Julie, Leonie's wall is overflowing. Oh. Shall we do that, Julie? I love that. You're subtle, darling. Well, that's a good point. It is very overflowing. We could do that today. Somebody who's checked out the basket maybe can win. Yeah, okay then. I will pick when I have a little look at who's, or maybe we should just do, no, I'll do it, I'll see. Oh, no, tonight would be interesting, thank you. We'll pick, maybe, yes, you can dry heat it. You can heat dry it even. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Yes, I think I will give away the stuff on my wall. So what I'll do, in fact, let's do it to someone who's watching, because we've got, for people who are shopping, but people who are watching, so by end at live, what I'll do is go through people who are watching. I'm going to pick someone at random. I'm heat setting this, and now I'm going to go back over it with another ink, okay? So let me pick one of my inks. Now, I'm going to use a mixture of inks. Some of them we'll have on our website, some we might not, but, you know, have a little look, see if you haven't got the colours. No, I'm going to go salty. I'm actually going to go salty ocean. I know I've got salty ocean in the background, but I'm going to do that as well. I'm rummaging with these. I'm using these because I know I use these for dye ink, so I know it'll be fine. Now this is when, so I've got my background, and I love this. Layering is so effective. So the background is already set. I've got that there. So then I can work back over the top. It's a dye ink. So unlike your oxides, where oxides are different from your normal distress, is that with the oxides, because it's got that pigment in, you sort of see it's more opaque. So then when you come to layer, like I'm doing here, you might not see underneath as much. In fact, a lot of times you won't see underneath at all. Whereas with the dye ink, with the normal distress, you can. Which means with something like this, I can see what's underneath. So I'm layering, I'm filling in my white space, but I'm not getting rid of the texture. I'm not getting rid of the detail. So I'm just layering. I'm layering to that detail, but can you see where the distress is? How cool is that? I love that. I just love that distress. I think it looks absolutely magnificent. Really, really cool. And I'm just seeing... Oh, here's a link to... Thank you, Lou. Lou has sent a link for the resist spray. Thank you so much, Lou. So if you did want that resist spray, we have got it on the website. Lou has just popped a link. Thank you so much, Arlie. I'm going to go back over the top with the wet, and I'm using just wet cloth. That's all you need. You don't need baby wipes, right? It's just a paper towel. And look how it just lifts that ink. How cool is that? I love these. Now, okay, so that's our background. Let's do something with that. So let's take one of our beautiful stamp sets, and I'm gonna go for the one at the top. Okay, the one at the top is a beautiful flowers with that gorgeous stencil. So let's take that. There's so much I can show you with the goodies that we've got. I mean, this live could be, oh my gosh, it could be hours, because the ideas, they just flow. You know, that's the beautiful thing with these products. There's so many ways of using them. Now there, because I'm using the same tone, you can see it is still adding a little bit of texture. You know, I've still got a little bit of stuff going on. However, if I really want to make that pop, I love that. If I really want to make it pop, let's change the colour. Let's use one of my favourites, which is Scorched Timber. Oh, I think I dug out Vintage Photo. Let's use Vintage Photo, because Vintage Photo is warm. It's a beautiful warm brown. I love Vintage Photo. Has anybody, out of interest, has anyone not got regular distress? Is there anyone who hasn't got regular distress in their arsenal? If you have got regular distress in your arsenal, how long have you been using it? How long has it been? Oh, hi there, Nikki. Thank you for joining us. how long has normal distress been part of your crafty stash? I remember, I mean, I don't remember when, but I remember working at Dawn's when I started using normal distress, and I loved it. But everything I did was serious grunge. You know, it was grunge. Now, obviously, I'm inking over the top. However, with this, because some of it's going on resist, so the resist I can pull it back off again. So it'll still pull that resist, even going over it with the stencil. I can still pull the ink back off it. I wish I could buy a bottle of your inspiration. Oh, thank you, Julie. I tell you what, sometimes you do feel that you're kind of running out, but then you're off again, you know, because then you've got loads of beautiful things to play with. So you're like, woohoo, off we go again, which is magnificent. See, look how cool is that. Normal distress, you just can't remember. Aren't they brilliant? When they first came out, I've been using distress since the first release of 12 colours. How many years ago? Can you remember? I can't remember. It must be... No, I actually have no idea. I can't remember at all. I know it's a long time ago. Lou will remember. Lou knows. But, oh yeah, I've got the my collection completed. Then he started the small ones and then the oxides. I know, right? It's so good. I hope it'll inspire me. Whatever I do, it'll be big. Oh, what are you doing now, David? This sounds exciting. Now, I'm going to stamp over the top of the resist, and I need to use, for that, I'm using a permanent ink. So I'm going on with my archival over the top. I wasn't sure if it'd dry, so I did a little tester, and it did. It dried. So I know that it'll work, okay? So I'm going to take my archival, and I'm going to find a block. I did have one out, but then I piled everything up right next to me, so I lost everything. Obviously, as usual, I'm working in an inch of space because I brought all these down, didn't I? I'm going to pop them back up there. Bet you any money I'm not going to get through to all of those, am I? Why I decided to do 50 million different backgrounds ready to go, who knows? Right, that's a bit better. Still haven't found my yes, there it is. I can't find my proper ones. I can't find them either. I mean, what my favourites? They'll be in a workshop thing, a box from one of the workshops, because I still haven't emptied everything. Right, and then let's just stamp. Now, of course, I love wildflowers. I mean, and what I love about stamps like this, you don't really need to do much. You know, you can create something quite effective with very little. Archival pad is brilliant because it dries, you know, and it's going to dry on these. I didn't stamp that enough, but that's okay. I want the stalk to go down, so I'm going to take that. I'm going to allow it to drift off. Can you see? And I'm not bothered that I haven't stamped that very well, because that's okay. And I'm allowing the stalk to drift. So it just allows me to see it disappear into that background, which I absolutely love. Love using on Jenny plate. Yeah, Jenny. They're great on gel plate, aren't they? Oh, David, a massive canvas. Oh, that's exciting. Oh my gosh, what are you going to do with that? See, a massive canvas, that's still terrifying me. I think the only thing I'd be able to do is just throw paint at it. You know, like we did the other day, David, on the workshop. That'd be the only way of doing it, I think. Oh, that's it, Terry came. Since the oxides came out, forgot to use. That's why I wanted to use them today. Because it's like, it's such a shame. They're almost like the second child, aren't they? I'm not putting much ink on this one. I want this to be lighter, so don't put much ink and just allow it to sit into that background. It's just like, yeah, it does. It feels another another thing that you forget. Another of my favourite distress products is the stains and the crayons. Oh, Lou, the stains. The stains. I love those. Those are one of my favourites from the product range. We're going to have to do stains, aren't we? Yeah. Oh, my gosh. I've only got 3 oxide, Sylvia. That's a... Oh, Debbie, I'm absolutely going to need another bottle. It's ridiculous. Now, okay. That, I love this. I'm not going to completely cover it because I like this. I like it just being, you know, quite subtle. I'm going to bring this one in and put it there though, because I want to cover that. I know I were aiming to have it just disappearing, but now it's bugging me. So, let me just ink this up. I did want to, rather than just do 5 million backgrounds, I thought, because I've got stamps, it'd be rude not to. Let's actually do some stamping. I mean, there's that many stamps. There's that many to choose from, everybody, and they're beautiful. I'm trying to sort of, you know, be quite random with my stamping, but I love them all so much. They're all absolutely exquisite. I mean, I love these because these are great for backgrounds, all your stamping, like the postage stampy ones. I love these as well, though. The ones with the gentleman on because of all the extras. Same with this one because it's got loads of little extras. Oh, but then again, so was this. Sorry. There you go. There's a motorbike. Does it sit on the resist? It dries on that resist. Does the archive sit on the resist, or does the resist also resist the ink? No, it actually. So on that one, it actually dries it, and that's stamped on top. Do you mean if I stamp first? So if I stamp first, would the resist the ink? Do you mean it that way? Or if I stamp on top, does it resist? Well, it doesn't resist on stamping on top. Stamping on top, it actually works beautiful. I'm going to see, this has got some really nice, so you've got script stamps, and you've got texture stamps. So let's bring some of them in. Again, layer, layer, layer. However, if I stamp with my distress, obviously that will resist. But it means, I mean, if you've got loads of archival colours, in fact, let me just have a rummage while you're watching, because your archival colours, I have got more colours. Let me see if I can find them easily. They will sit beautifully on top. So play with your different, oh yes, play with your different archival colours. I don't think we've got a huge range. I think I've just got black on website, can't remember. But we are archival, for instance. I mean, it will sit anyway on here, but if it went on the resist, I know it's going to dry. So if I want to colour on top of the resist, you can do that with your archival. Oh, good grief, I'm nearly putting my fingers again. That's because I was trying to put the lid on this whilst reading the messages. So that's why I put my fingers in the water. That is definitely the kind of thing that happens all the time with me. Now, hold on a minute. Is that, oh yeah, there is still ink in this. Oh, I can see it. It's just because I'm using blue on blue on blue. So it's a bit, there you go. But I like that because it's quite subtle, but it just adds to to those textures, to those layers. So you're still getting a little bit of stuff going on, which I love. And I'm going to stop this one. So I am going to pop a sentiment on this one. So you've got field label, which I rather like. I'm going to pop that going up there, like so. Are they the same size? They've made some sets smaller. The archival, these have been this size for years. Absolutely years. They might have done. They've probably done. Have they done smaller ones in archival? I think they have, haven't they? I think they have done smaller ones in archival, but they're sort of regular size, if you will. Distress, they have done mini distress. Yes. Oh, I've done that in blue, but that's okay. So they have done minis. There we go, that's cool. And then let's get a cheeky little sentiment for this to finish it off. And it'll go on my wall. And somebody who is watching will get the stuff on my wall tonight. I will let you know before the end of the live. I will let you know who's won. That's exciting, isn't it? Oh yeah, that's nice, because it's been a long time since I've given away the stuff on my wall, so that'll be fabulous. And I want to put this, I'm going to pop it on a piece of card. Obviously white is a bit too white, so I will have to knock it back. I suppose actually I could actually put it with glaze. No, do you know what? Let's not do that. Let's emboss it, because if I emboss it, we're going to be able to see it. So we've got our glazes. Now the glazes, if you haven't got the glazes, as I say, are gorgeous. And there's so many beautiful colours. I mean, I am going to use actually Villainous Potion for this, but there's so many gorgeous colours. They work with the distress. So all the colours that you've got in your distress, they're going to work with, which is that one. Oh, then again, Scorched Timber. No, I'm going to use that. But then again, we have got Enchanted Mariner, Prize Ribbon, that one. So it just adds, it adds another layer. It adds another texture. But also with these, of course, they intensify your colours. So for instance, if I use Prize Ribbon now, I have to be quick because I'm using a distress, a regular distress. I mean, it might work, it might not. And I'm worried. I'm going to do it on a normal piece of paper only because I don't think my ink pad's juicy enough. Only because, in fact, I'm using Villainous Potion. So let's get the Villainous Potion actual ink pad. If I stamp it on, oh, let's do it, because even if you can't see, it don't matter. Now, obviously, distress. Distress, can you see what a distress stamp does on your clear? You probably can't because I'm a light. It breaks up a little bit. So it goes a little bit, you know, pitted, if you will. So, of course, your distress powder might also, sometimes it doesn't, it just depends, but it might also pit, if you will. And I hope you know what I mean by that. But it gives you a really cool finish. I mean, that's actually perfect. Perfect. So, I were quick enough. Hurrah! So, pop your powder on. And what that does, so if I'd have just used my pad, my ink pad as normal, and put it on, it means that it might, oh, in fact, I've got my faster gun. It means that we might not have seen it. Because, that's a bit loud, because obviously, put it there, so, I've got a lot going on in that background. Because I'm using the glaze will intensify that colour. So that means it'll make the colour stronger. So I will definitely see it on that background. Now it's not going to be 100% smooth because I'm using distress, a normal distress. And because that's the nature of the beast. But look, and you get that beautiful sheen, which is just lovely. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely beautiful. Now, with that, matte and layer it, put it on black, boom. You've got something that's really, really cool. So many gorgeous layers. So many gorgeous elements. And, I mean, look, doesn't that look beautiful? It's just so, and it's so possible, it's so achievable, and that's why I love all the fantastic products that he brings out. They're so cool. Now, that's one way of using the Gorgeous Resist. However, how do we use it? And I haven't done anything with this yet, but I want to, because, oh, look at that. How do we use the Resist spray? So, I know I started sort of with the finished product, but let's show you how to use it now. Something I never ever do is use a box. Never ever. For this, however, I'm using a spraying box because it does dry on everything, anything, and it dries proper. So it means unless you wash it off super, super quick, everything will be textured because it does dry with the texture. So it means, I mean, you can't, obviously I haven't got feely teller, but it'd mean that everything would have this really, and if you don't want it on something like your screen on your phone, that texture would be really annoying. So if you don't want a really annoying texture, then use a box, okay? Now, what I'm doing first, let's just use it on plain paper. So if you're going to use it on plain paper, all you need to do is give it a spritz. Now, you could go on. Uh-oh. No, don't. It never blocked for Tim Holtz. Hold on, let me just get my side. There we go. So, look, 2 sprays, that's all I've done. 2 sprays. Now, it's going to be tricky to see initially, but, especially when I don't hold it to camera, there you can see it. Right, you let that dry because it dries in seconds, but that's how you get your resist. So put it to one side to let it dry, okay? The next piece of card, I'm just going to use white card. Now, I'm literally just going to put my stencil in as is, right? Because I'm not going to faff. I have been, when I've been doing my other ones, I've been doing all sorts, you know. I've been masking it off, which is why I've got bits of paper. So I've been really playing with it. I'm not going to mask it off or anything this time. I'm just going to spritz it. So going in again and just some light spritz. Now, if you want it more solid, then, no, if you want bigger droplets, go in closer, or just do a little bit of the nozzle, you know, just sort of go, doo, doo. Yeah, it does, that's it, Rara Jane, it has the texture watercolour colour stuff. Yeah, it does kind of go with that, it does kind of give you that. Well, that's wet, you know I'm not going to waste it. Go over the top, pull that off, because then you're getting a 2 for 1. And then I've been putting it in water. I've actually done it. Because otherwise you get loads of texture on your stencil. Now, that doesn't really annoy me that much. But if I did this a lot, it's going to build up. And let's face it, it's going to get quite chunky, isn't it? And I don't want that. I don't want a chunky stencil. So that's why I've kind of avoided... you know, that's why I've avoided having it messy. Who are me? I know. Oh, what's that? Love a twofer. A twofer. Yes, me too. Sorry, it took me a while to work that out. Black card. Black card. If you do resist, and then you distress oxide, black card. So, but, in fact, let me just, oh, shall I do this? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do the embossing powder. Okay, so in fact let's do it this way with embossing. I'm going to let those ones dry that I've just done. Okay, so let me put this here like so. Let me get one of my beautiful colours. I'm going to go for, I'm sure I dug out more colours than this. I have got loads next to me though. Now I'm just going random colours. Some we've got on websites, some we haven't. So we'll have a little look-see. I have got a red though, haven't I? Sorry, I'm trying to decide. I am sure I picked out more colours than this though. But I've then gone and piled things, so who knows. Right, okay. I'm going to go my lumberjack plaid again. And I'm going to go in with... I'm really annoyed that I haven't got any bigger brushes. It bugs me working with small brushes. I'm not a small brushes kind of girl. I like big brushes. Yeah, it's because you want to get your... You want to get a... Oh, see, that'll take me forever. You want to get a quick background, don't you? Let's go direct to paper. I like direct to paper, though. Because look how cool and interesting it is. We're having to do anything. I mean... How gorgeous. Yes, Ali, the photopolymer. Good quality photopolymer stamps. Absolutely. And you've got the stencils. They've gone through the range that Tim brought out with Stampers Anonymous and gone through and picked out some of the favourites and brought them but in photopolymer. So rather than the red rubber, because obviously they were all red rubber, rather than the red rubber, it means you've got a really good selection of stamps. I mean, I love red rubber, but I love photopolymer, as you well know. So it means you've got a really good selection of stamps. I mean, they are so cool. And you've got the stencils to match. And I love that. It just gives you so many options and so much choice. Right, that's my, what did I use? I used my lumberjack plaid, right? Let's get lumberjack plaid out ready. Come here, lumberjack plaid. Right, so what we're going to do is I'm getting this ready to go because I know I need to be ready because it dries quick in this room. This room is warm. I've got the window open, but it's still super warm. So I'm going to get a stencil. Let's have a see which stencil. Oh, I love this one. This one is one of my faves. I love the stamp, but I love the stencil. I just think that's so cool. So this is the stencil I'm going for. Now, let's go. Let's get the box out. The only problem with having to do it in a box is, you know, you have to tidy up before you can... Well, I'll think about it. How am I going to do it? Right, okay. Oh, this didn't seem to happen when you lot weren't watching. Can you hear that? I'm blaming you lot for watching. That's rude, isn't it? Right, what have I got behind me? Why can't you see? Yeah, okay. Right, now let me just have a think because I need to do this quick. So I need to be able to pull that out real quick. Okay, I'll just move quick. And then my paper's there. Right, I'm setting myself up ready, guys. Because I know last time I did it, I faffed about a bit. And then my ink dried too quick. Now, popping that on. Using my resist spray. Again. See, the reason I faffed about before is because, obviously, there's ink on that. And I didn't want to waste it. And that's my problem. It's like, oh, but I don't want to waste that ink. That's still plenty wet enough. So I really faffed about last time, didn't I? I mean, I really did. But some of it has dried. Look. I told you it dried quick in here. My room is super, super. Mind you, you're not going to get it. I mean, this is the thing as well with this. You're going to get a gorgeous distressed finish. Because when you put your resist spray on, your resist spray isn't going to be solid. You know, it's not going to be a really sort of perfect background. So it's not like going through your stencil with your Versamark pad. If you're going through with your Versamark pad, you know that you're going to get it perfect, you know, or, you know. But with this, it's not, because it's a spray. So the very nature of the beast means it is going to be kind of more textural. But when we put this on and then start to emboss it, the embossing ink and the distress spray, the resist spray, it can withstand the heat. So this won't flatten it. And your embossing powder, because the resist spray dries with texture, your embossing powder will dry with extra texture, which is cool. And I'll show you. And can you see, as I'm doing this, can you see how much darker the powder is when it's the ink is with the powder? The glaze will change the colour. So if you use a different colour underneath, the glaze will be a different colour. So it won't, because it takes on the colour that's underneath, because you can see through it, it means, so say I used a fossilised amber over this, you would see underneath it, you'd see the colour underneath it, so it'd change the glaze. So it's always going to be different. So, you know, your what's that one? Your pick raspberry is going to be different on pick raspberry than it would on salty ocean because it picks up the colour, which looks really, really cool. Now, have a look at that. Can you see that resist? And can you see the embossing powder? I really like that. Now, okay. What I'm going to do is now go back over because I've got to resist. So it's rude not to, isn't it? So let's use, and I'm actually going to use scorched timber over the top because I want a really nice intense colour over the top. And I'm going to have to go on with one of my little sponges. And now I am feeling like when I first started using my distress and everything were dark and grungy. Oh, but I love this. And look how cool that is. Before I've even done anything. It's so, so cool. Let me take this. I'm going to chop it down because I didn't go to the edge. So it's going to have the sides hacked off. In fact, I'm going to do that before I put my distress on. Because then I won't waste any ink. Doing the edges. You could do it with a trimmer. I'm not doing that today though because that would require finding my trimmer. And again, just popping this on. We have got another product as well, which is the glaze. Now, obviously these are embossing glazes, but in the distress range, there is also a distress glaze, and that is interesting. Right, I like that. Get the thing, and actually I needed to wipe my nozzle. So you don't have to dip this in water, but do wipe the nozzle, and that's why it had dried a bit on there. My stencil's still in, and what you'll see in my stencil water, can you see how it's all milky? And that's basically the product. So the product coming off in the water. So it does come off the stencil. I mean, obviously you can give them a bit of a, you know, you can give them try and actually clean it properly, which will clean it off proper. Mine still will be a bit textured. And look at that. Look how it starts to pop. Doesn't that look cool? It's absolutely gorgeous. It's so cool. It's so cool. Let's put another colour on it. Let's do another layer. Okay, now this is when I've always loved Tim Holtz's products and distress products is random layering. I love this. I love just seeing what happens. So just putting another colour on just to see. And I'm going to pop prize ribbon and spritzing and then just layering just to see. I mean, I haven't yet created something I've absolutely hated, which is amazing when you think about it because the possibilities are huge, especially with me, you know. But I haven't. I've never created even that swipey background. Looks gorgeous. I haven't yet created something that I've gone, that's interesting. And obviously, if you let it dry, I generally let it dry, but just because of time, because I've already done an hour. I've tried other mates, but distress are the best. I love distress. I do, I love distress. I love the colour palette though. I just think it's such a strong colour palette. And I think because it's such a full range, you know, you've got everything, haven't you? You've got it's just such an incredibly big family. And I love that as well about it. You know, you've got so many different products that all sit together. And it's that layer and layer and layer. That, for me, is so interesting. I mean, I used the lumberjack plaid, didn't I? I'm going to go lighter. Let's see. Again, let's just see what happens. And this is saltwater taffy, which I don't use much, actually. I don't, and in its true form, let me pick up with white cardstock. See, just as it is, it's a really beautiful light colour, which is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So, it shouldn't and probably won't show up on here. Because if it were Distress Oxide, yes, it would. But because it's a dye ink, It won't, but it is distress. So even though I won't be able to sort of see that coming through, what it will do is leave my little droplets, so I can still get it so it's reactive. So if I go in and actually lift the ink, I can still create texture. Can you see? Doesn't it look cool? So many layers going on. So that one, let's just drag that up, because I don't know why I decided to. Mind you, I think that's the interesting part of the family again, isn't it? You know, the distress family. The fact that you have got so many different products that give you so many different results. And I love that. And this is, again, it's so ridiculously easy to do. Now, let's layer on top of this. Okay, so what I'm going to take is the stamps. And I am going to use the stamps that go with the stencil. So the stencil and the stamps that I've just used are these ones. What's this one called? I don't really know. It is this one's one of my favourites. Ovs. I don't know what it's called, you know. No, I'm being stupid. I can't find it. But anyway, it's that one with blokes on it. And it's not just got blokes on it. It's got, oh, but I love this one. This is cool. So I need it to sit on top of there. So of course we have to, or I am going to use my archival. There will be other inks, but they have to be a permanent ink. It's going to be a permanent inks that sit on top of this. I'm going to use one of my gentlemen. You know what? No, I'm going to use the other gentleman from the other stamp set. This gentleman. Oh, I love him. They're so cool, aren't they? And they're good stamps. These are really good quality stamps. They aren't, you know, these days, I know there's acrylic stamps out there. And I know acrylic stamps are very, very cost effective. And let's face it, you know, they do a job. They're good, you know, I've got acrylic stamps, I've sold acrylic stamps, and they absolutely do the job. But I do rather like a nice photopolymer, because they feel a little bit more substantial, don't they? Oh, I keep trying the lottery. Well, I don't. Oh, it's just called number 37. Thank you, Lou. Of course it is. It's number 37. I missed the beginning about the distress glazes. So, on the show, our lovely Chris, we've got two different types of products. So we've got distress glazes, and these are an embossing powder. In fact, I'm going to show you a different technique in a minute. They look like villainous child catchers. They look. He's a gentleman, but yes, I know what you mean. They do a little bit. The other ones definitely do. So they're embossing powder. The nice thing is, and I will show you in a minute, that it's about layering with them, but it's an embossing powder. So maybe you're going to be using them for regular embossing. Maybe you're going to be using them for layering. Maybe you're going to be using those as a resist. So it's an embossing powder, but it is a clear embossing powder. It's a translucent embossing powder. So that means the colour underneath will be, it'll change depending on what's, hold on a minute. The powder will change depending on the colour underneath, because it is translucent. So you're going to see the colour underneath it. It's not an opaque. It's not an opaque powder, and they go on all sorts of different products. So you can use your embossing powders, your glazes. You can use them on metal, for instance. You know, if you've got heat resistant acetate, you can use them on acetates. So they're really cool to use on lots of different products. But, and this is lovely because it's distress, so they work with the distress range. So the whole range of distress will have a glaze to go with it, which is fab, because again, it gives you the full collection. You know, it means that you've got everything. And it means that everything matches. So if you're doing tone on tone, you can do that. With distress, you've got that option and you've got that availability. And they're lovely. They're lovely. They're really, they're beautiful to work with. Now, that's this. And then we have got another product, another glaze. So we've got resist, but then we've got a different type of glaze. And I will show you that in a second. Let's just stamp that. Look, love that. Absolutely love this. Now, I'm not going to spend time colouring this in, but I could go in and start adding a little bit of colour on this. Let me just see. I could go in with like crayons in this, distressed crayons. What's up? Let's put what's up. I could go in, let me have a little think. I could go in, you need an opaque, so maybe you'd be using a, where shall I put this? Let's put it there. I could use a thingy pen, acrylic. So it's actually a paint pen. So you could use something like that to actually go in and colour over the top of it. So you could definitely add colour over the top. I'm not going to, just because of time, because I've got loads to show you. But I love the putting stencils and stamps together, me too. Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, Julie. Everything distressed, it cost a bomb. But you build it up, don't you? I love that though, don't you? Poscas. Poscas would be brilliant, yes. With your Poscas, obviously, if you're going over with Posca, it'll sit over the top of the black ink. So you would have to consider that. I haven't got on my desk. Oh man, I tied it up. See, let me just dig out the distressed crayons, because your distressed crayon, for instance, I don't think we've got distressed crayons on the website, but distressed crayon, oh, and pencils. Got a bit of everything here. Right. So, like a distressed crayon, which again I absolutely love, because it's a crayon that will sit over the top. Can you see? I love distressed crayons. Distressed crayons are fabulous. And yeah, I mean, they're brilliant because, again, you can add, you can add colour. The distressed pencil, however, you can see, you can just about on the darker, and again your distressed pencil is water reactive, see, but you're probably like there, you can't see it quite as much there. It is actually, you can hear the texture, can't you? It is actually putting a little bit of colour down though. It's lightening it. I'm trying to avoid the ink though, because if I go over the black, then it'll definitely colour in the black. And obviously I would be able, it's water reactive, so if I went over the top now with there, it's definitely coloured it, hasn't it? If I went over the top with my wet cloth, anything that it sat on that's got the resist product, I'd lift it off again. But I really like that. I mean, if you haven't got your distressed crayons yet, distressed crayons are cool, because again, you can just do so much with them. And I love them because they are water reactive. And look, even with my finger, you can blend a distressed crayon. Oh, I love distressed. We'll have to do a little thing on distressed crayons as well. How cool is that? Oh, have we got some distressed crayons, Armandi? Result. Have a look at the website. Obviously, if you're getting your Tim Holtz goodies today, 10% off your Tim Holtz goodies. Now, that's one of the products, right, we're showing you. Distressed glazes. Let me just talk quickly distressed glaze. So, for instance, if I get, let's have a look at our gorgeous stamps. Obviously, my stencil's in the water. I haven't to forget. That's me reminding myself that I've got stencil in my water. Right, I'm going to use, let me have a look at my stamps. I'm going to use the birds, because these are great for this, because they're solid, so it means I'll be able to show you what your differences are. It's because there's a few ways of putting your glazes on. Okay, now, if I take my bird, so this is a solid stamp. And I tell you what, I was saying these are nice quality. Have you seen the depth of that stamp? This is a really beautiful, deep stamp. Oh, hold on a minute. For some reason, I do this. I forget to plug. You're going to see my arm. I always forget to plug my devices in. It's so annoying because I've got my charger there. And do I remember? No, and it's not. Hold on a second. Because it's not actually charging either. Which will be very bad because it means I've got about 5 minutes. It's still not charging. Hold on a minute, guys. Otherwise, this could be bad. Why are you not charging? Oh, come on. Don't do this to me. I didn't bring my other charger from home. It was charging earlier because it charged my phone up. It just means... Sorry, everyone. Yes, it's charging. We're okay. Yes. Right. Okay. Few ways of doing this, right? So, oh, there's so many ways. I love it. Right. So, if we go on, for instance, right, prize ribbon. Let me find my prize ribbon. So, prize ribbon. In fact, light colour is really, it's easy to show. But I don't think, I'll find my saltwater taffy. Because that will be a good one to show you. Let me find my saltwater taffy. There. Okay, saltwater taffy is a cracker because it's nice and light. So you'll really see the difference. So, oh, might watch that. Oh, when you can't sleep tonight, what's that? I don't know what you're watching. You're chatting. I'm not going to try and get involved. I'm going to work because otherwise I'll lose track. Right, a saltwater taffy, and I know this is a nice juice ink pad. So look, so I'm going to pop that on first of all with my Distress ink. Okay. Now again, you need to be quick because Distress does dry pretty quick. So be relatively quick. No, you don't. It's not seconds of a job, because it is. I say it does stay open a little bit because it's water reactive. So you know it doesn't dry, you know, like really quick like a permanent ink pad. It's water reactive, so it does stay open a little bit. But be you know, be quick. And then let's melt. So, because it's a glaze, what you're going to see is your actual ink, the Distress powder is the same colour as your glaze. So the actual glaze powder will intensify the colour of your stamp pad. So it means, because it means that when I show you this, when it's stamped just the bird, I'm going to put these back because they're getting on my nerves. Because I'm only working in a small space. Anything extra is just going to annoy me. So let me put those down there. That's better. Give myself a bit of space. So if I use this little, I'm going to use one of the other birdies. So I have lots of different birdies on here. So if I did, so that's got my embossing powder on, that's got my glaze. This is just the normal ink. And you'll be able to see the difference in the colours. There we go. So, I mean, it's marginal, but you can see it's darker. So one is darker than the other. Marginal, but it is. Okay, which is lovely. But you've also got, can you see the glaze on that? So it's also got the glaze, okay, which again is beautiful. Now, if I put underneath this one instead, when am I moving offices? I think it's by the end of June, which is actually terrifying because I do not know when I'm going to do this. It's like, oh, when am I going to do that? I'll do it though. It's all good. I'm looking forward to it. So if I put a different colour underneath. So let's say I put pickled raspberry under it. Picked raspberry underneath it, right? Should have used a darker colour really. But it's okay. This will work. So let's put picked raspberry underneath. And the glaze on top. So same glaze. So my gorgeous saltwater taffy. but a different colour underneath. Now, because the glaze is clear, it means that although it's the same colour on the top, it picks up the colour underneath it, so you can see under it. And that means you're going to get a different effect. I'm being really good. I'm putting my lid on as I'm doing this because, again, I know myself. Now, when you're doing your embossing powder, if you can lift your page up, it'll emboss quicker because the heat will pass through the paper. Don't over emboss it because you can burn embossing powder. So stay on it until you can see it's melted. You're melting plastic essentially. When it's melted, take the heat away. Let me just have a slurp of water. Hold on. Oh, oh, a bit late, John. Just bought the toadstool set. Oh, it's lovely, isn't it? It's really, really cute, Helen. Now look, same embossing powder, but completely the colour is changed because of that. Because obviously underneath it. So it's really interesting. And you can see now as that's drying, you can see the colour variation. If I just stamped the pickled raspberry, let me choose my other bird. So if I just did my pickled, we have to say pickled. So if I do this, oh my gosh. No, you aren't naughty having every colour. That isn't naughty because I bet you use them, right? If you don't use them, then you're naughty. But if you use them, you're not naughty. I mean, they are the best, right? I love them. They're my go-to. I do use other ink pads, but they're my go-to. Now look, can you see, even though that isn't the picked raspberry embossing powder, but it's darkened it. So that is darker than that shade. And it does give you texture. So you can see how with your embossing powder it intensifies the colour, but also it adds that beautiful glaze. So it's layering, it's creating something that looks really interesting. Now, to put your embossing powder on, so of course we can use our distress inks, we can use our Versamark, or another, say, where's my little ink pads that are on this table, or a pigment ink. So if you've got something like, and we have got lovely little ink pads, but I don't know where mine have gone, right in front of me, the Versacolours, that's a proper pigment ink. So your proper pigment ink stays open longer. It will absolutely stick to that, okay? So your embossing powder is going to stick to them. As we were showing you earlier with this one, the resist spray, if you work quick, that your embossing powder will stick to that as well. It's interesting, is that now? Because look, some of it you can see, some of it you can't. It looks so different, the embossing powder, doesn't it? It's funny actually, because it's the resist, it gives you the texture, it gives you super interesting. But there's another product. Now, this product I haven't used before. Where is it? There. No, not in it. Bear with. I have to find it in all my tubs that are on my desk. There it is, behind my water spritzer. This, a distress glaze. Now, you don't need a code, our lovely Chris. When you're checking out your basket, you'll automatically get 10% off all your Tim Holtz. It's just an automated thing, and your postage. If it's over £30, it will be free postage, and that's just standard. So yeah, no codes or anything required. Now, this is cool. There's a few ways of using this. So I can take my stencil. This is the stencil that comes with the birds. It's really, really cool. Oh, neon Versacolours. Yes, you do, Lou. What is this magic you talk of? Neon Versacolours. That's amazing. Oh, what's that? Pure earthworms. Oh, Lillian. Do you know what, Lillian? Every now and again I look up and I see one of your comments and they're always really random. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I love that yours seems to be the only one, Lillian, that I see that's really, really bizarre. which is so funny. What on earth? That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Pureed earthworms. Without context, it's amazing. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Okay, so let's go for. We'll stick with. No, I'm not going to stick with salted water taffy. Let's go with picked raspberry because it's the rules. Pickled raspberry. Okay, oh, but then again, I want some blue. So let's use both. Picked raspberry and salty ocean. Rude not to, right? Let's get these open. There's loads I can do with this. There's loads. I mean, this is a lovely thing. You know, I've only got, what time is it? I'm only going to do another half hour. I might not even manage half hour. I'm really tired. But I'll do another half hour. But there's so much we can do with these products. I will keep bringing them into different demos because there's so much. So, okay. One of the things you can do with this distress glaze is obviously use it with your stencils to put a layer because it's going to stick. So it's like a wax essentially. Now, be careful when you're putting it on. You don't want too much. So that's why I'm literally just picking a little bit up and popping it through the stencil. So I'm not going bonkers with this. This I don't need to worry about it drying too quick. Whoops a daisy. I've got enough time to do this. Okay, whoops a daisy. And I'm just going in with one of my little sponges, like so. Now, Pepper, where did I put you? Let's pop a little bit of blue, like so. Oh, I love it already. And then let's pop. Oh, well done, Leonie. Missed your pop there. just missed the pop. Missed the pop. And I love it. Just wear everything on the plane next time. See, Lillian, that means that's nothing to do with earthworms. What were you talking about? And then go over with my pink. Let's just have a see what we've got. I love mixing your colours. It's just so effective. I'm hoping I haven't got blue in there. But, you know, if I have, it won't be much. There. I am quite, normally with my embossing powders, I'm normally quite good. Like, if you've got little extra pots, you know, we get those little recipe boxes. We get our vegetable boxes delivered. And they have inside, they've got, they have little tubs with like summer ingredients in. And they're great. So if you've got little containers, use them for your embossing powder that's mixed. Because you can create your own embossing powders. I was creating today my own little herb mixes. Not out of nettles. Oh, and that embosses so quick. So, you can go through your stencil. Now, I like using this. Obviously, you can use your Versamark through your stencil. But I actually prefer this because I can really see it. You know, I'm sometimes at Versamark, I feel like it's taken me ages and I'm not very good with patience. Whereas this feels super quick. And really, look, super quick. And look at the colour. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This one is looking, I know it's looking quite random, but I'm not too fussed about that. Let's go random. So you've got that. Let's bring on a little bit of cheeky saltwater taffy. And I'll pop it on there. And I'm going to bring in the... Where's my pickled raspberry? See, I'm sure I picked more out. Well, I'm really glad they're on this pile that I've piled everything on. I am sure I picked them out. Oh, can't find a pickled raspberry. How rude. Berries. That's really annoying. I'm sure I've got picked raspberry. Oh, it's next to me. Have I just used? Oh, I've used it. I've used it. Does the Distress Glaze dry? Yes. Yes, it does. And actually, I'll show you that in a minute because it's really cool. So, yes, it does. I will show you. So, let's pop this in here. So, of course, my birds. Now, have a little see. So, of course, the ones where we've got embossing powder are going to be absolutely fine. The others, they're fine as well, actually. They're not moving. But look how cool that looks. I love it. You don't really need to do much when you've got distress, do you? Before you know it, it's like, boom, you've done it. Kinder Egg, oh yeah, the yellow toy holders, they're good as well. Oh, that's such a good idea. Yeah, I bet they're fabulous, actually. And a good excuse for buying people Kinder Egg toys, isn't it? That's a lovely excuse. It's like, but you can have the toy, but I will have this. And all your scraps, always use these because you might need backgrounds, you know. So obviously you bring all your scraps in and you're using all your beautiful backgrounds. And then with this one, let's give it a little blast dry. I do get bored drying ink. I don't like drying ink. I normally let it dry on its own because it really bores me. So I do end up sort of lifting ink off. I haven't got the patience for that. So looking good already. It's looking good. Now, obviously, don't use, if this has still got your wax on it, the glaze, just take it off. You don't want to be putting that in your ink pad. So just remove that off there. So remember it's on rather than going using it again and messing up your next ink pad. So I'm going to take one of my other stencils. Let's have a look at all my stencils. You've got so many good stencils. I mean, this collection is amazing. So many strong stencils. And it's so difficult to choose because look at all of these. I mean, strong, all of them. I mean, that is a good one, actually, with beautiful birds. Oh, you wouldn't believe how difficult this is. Just to make a decision. So let's take that. Let's get one of my ink pads. And I'm actually, do you know what? No, I'm going to use, a nice little Salty Ocean, because I use Salty Ocean there. Those glazes blended together look lovely. They look really, really effective. And now going over with my stencil again. So this time stenciling without the glaze. So last time I used that beautiful glaze to actually put the glaze embossing powder on. This time, just the stencil. So picking up that detail, which looks absolutely gorgeous. I can flip it, and obviously, because it's a stencil. So if I flip it, it means now I can come in on this side. I'm not bothered taping my card down or anything. I mean, you can do, but I can't be bothered with that. I like to do it quite quick. See, look how pretty that looks. And I'm not, thing is with this, I'm not worried about the imagery. It doesn't need to make sense. So it's not literal. I'm not literally needing my birds to sit on something or, you know, it's just the, you know, it's just the design, isn't it? And I love this because I know when I go back over this and take that ink off the glaze, it'll come off, you know. It isn't going to sit on that glaze. That'll absolutely wipe off. I'm going to spin this because otherwise I've nothing to hold on to. So spin the card so I can hold on to the actual card so it won't move. Yay, my brain's still working. I used it then. Like so. See, look how cool that looks. Doesn't it look gorgeous? Isn't that beautiful? I love it. I love it. Now, let's have a see. Am I happy with this? Yes, I am. Let's put a bit more up here, though. Like so. Beautiful, beautiful. Whoops, oh, nearly went into water. Gorgeous, happy with that. And then, see, I might have water next to me, but I ain't cleaning my stencils. I mean, if it's got the resist on, yes, for just a bit of ink. Let's use this as well, because it'd be rude not to, right? So let's use, I want a darker blue, so have I got my Uncharted Mariner? Yes, I have. So let's, prize ribbon, sorry. Prize ribbon this time. And I'm going to actually use some numbers on this. So just going over the top with those numbers. There. Seriously cool. Let's bring them down here. I'm actually almost finishing things tonight, aren't I? Makes a change. There we go. If there is, ladies and gents, anything you'd like me to do an actual workshop on, the online one specifically, let me know. So if like some of these products, it's like, oh, I'd love these as a workshop, then give me a shout, let me know. Because this is the thing, when we're putting workshops together, you know, it's always, well, I kind of decide what I'm going to do. And it's nice to know what people would like to see. So if there is something you'd like to see, drop us a message. Drop us a message though. If you put it on here, I probably won't see, and then I will forget. So definitely drop us a message. Now then, I call saltwater taffy naked pink. Yeah, it is a bit, innit? It is a bit, for sure. Oh, yeah, I always forget about that, spreading the payments. We have got PayPal. That's the only one we've got. Is that the only one we've got as yet, man? Is PayPal. But yes, you can spread payment with PayPal. You can do 3 payments, or PayPal does do PayPal credit. And PayPal credit actually allows you to do 4 payments, and as long as you pay within the 4 payments, they don't charge you any interest, which is quite fabulous. And that's just good old PayPal doing its thing. So it's just part of PayPal's, you know, PayPal being PayPal, which I think is quite fabulous. But yeah, it is really, really good, is that. I like that PayPal do offer that. Okay, so I'm going to put a bit of black on. Now, remember, this will sit over that distress. Over your resist, which is fabulous. I'll put some there, and then I'm going to finish this with a sentiment. I'm going to go on with one of these. Hello, friend. Happy thoughts. Let's do happy thoughts, shall we? Happy thoughts. Okay. So let's go in with happy thoughts on the bottom. Just like that. Super. Look. Isn't that just lovely? I love those. I think they're beautiful. Now, what I was actually showing you that I'm going to go extra in black was the glazes and the distress glaze. Now, the distress glaze, yes, you can use it to actually get your embossing powder to stick. And I really do like that. Going through your stencils with the embossing glaze is really, really easy. It works. I like that a lot. However, the other thing you can do with glaze. Now, this can be quite tricky to see. So, I'm going to do it on here. And I'm going to do half and half, right? So, let's see. So, with my glaze, so taking my glaze out my pot. Now, this is just normal distress. So, I'm really hoping you'll be able to see. So, it actually gives it, it's almost like a wax finish over, oh, I took a lot out the pot then, over the top of it. So, it gives it this really like soft sheen, which is just lovely. I'll show you in a minute. Now, obviously on some surfaces you're going to see it better than others. But I really hope, can you see that sort of glaze? Oh, I think that's quite tricky to see. It's got, and it does dry, there you go. There you go. It makes it, I tell you what it's done. Yes, the blackening the edges does make a difference. The reason I did that, because I've gone and stamped in black, if I didn't go around the edges, it'd have popped them. The black won't look right, but going around the edges, that finishes it. So it gives it a waxy finish. Now, the best way of being able to show this is actually, let me see on black card. I haven't actually used it on black card yet. So on black card, now I'm going to use, this has got the resist on it. So it's got my resist spray on it, right? Oh. Yeah, it's got a sheen. It's lovely. It's really lovely. And it's really interesting as well. It's a really interesting product. Now, I've gone black because there's black on here. If I use normal distress, it wouldn't work. You wouldn't see it. So I'm going to quickly use distress oxide, because an oxide, of course, we can see. And I need to show you that. So this has got the resist spray on it. So I'm going to go over the top. And it's important to see that, of course, it's going to work with oxides as well. Because oxides, as we know, they are, they've got that pigment. So oxides sit on top of stuff. You know, they're quite demonstrative, aren't they? You know, they sit on it and you can't see stuff underneath it. So it's like, well, will the resist the oxide? Will it? So let me pop a couple of colours on from the oxides. Like this. Okay. Oh gosh, doesn't that look good before I even do anything? And then, and I'm not spritzing it with water, so I'm not actually oxidising it. What I am going to do is get one of my paper towels that's damp. And I'm just going to go over the top. Damp paper towel. And it is very damp actually. Could actually be a bit wetter. But it's just taking off. So from the, get a bit wetter. So where the, no, I don't want it too wet though. Leonie, you've gone too wet. I've gone too wet there. See, I were being impatient. It's an oxide. So because it's an oxide, if I go like I did and I went on and it was too wet, it's going to lift it, obviously. However, gently, just gently going over the top, like I was doing before I got impatient, removes it off the resist spray. So that resist spray, I mean, how cool is that? You can really see, look at the texture. So you've got a gorgeous texture there, plus you've got that really cool resist. Now, I love that. I just think that looks really, really effective, and it looks quite chalky, doesn't it? It looks really, really cool. Now, the reason I wanted to show you this specifically was because of the glaze, because this is a good way of being able to show you the glaze. And the glaze, I mean, there's still glaze on this because it's a sponge, and it does, the sponge does lift up quite a lot of the glaze. But have a little look at this. Oh, I was going to do it. In fact, I'll do that in a minute. Now, let me just see if you can see this. So pop it on. Now you can see that. Look at the difference. That's the glaze. And it does dry. How cool is that? Good, innit? Now the other thing you can do with the glaze, okay, I love that. It gives it a really cool finish. So it does look quite profesh. you know. Right, the other thing that you can do with it, again, this is on an oxide. I'm just looking for a piece of paper that hasn't got out on it. So if you're, because like with your oxides, let's do this first, and I'll just do a bit of a background first, so it gives you a nice, interesting background. So let's go on first with this. I won't do the full thing. Oh, I'll tell you, my workshop yesterday, I did get confused in the ladies who were doing workshop. I said to everyone, right, I'm going to be working. Oh, I should have done this on one of them resist backgrounds, shouldn't I? Tell you what I am going to do. Well, I'm just doing this. Well, I've got it out. Let's just have a go. Because with this, now because this is craft card, I'm doing 2 for 1. Craft card, you see, Distress Oxide on craft card. Not craft card, on thingy, whatever that is. Grey board. Grey board. So, Distress Oxide, the pigment, is going to sit really proud. I'm going to bring pink one lipstick into that one. This one, however, look, mix it up. So then use prize ribbon. You'll get such a different effect. Because prize ribbon, you can still see it, but it just sinks into that grey board. I do like mixing them up and seeing what you're going to get. Obviously, be careful with your brushes. You should do it the other way around, obviously. Does the glaze wax you've used resist too? Do you know what? I'm going to say yes, but I actually haven't tried it, but we can try it. The only thing is you're going to have to let it dry before you put your ink on. And I'm not 100% sure how long it'll take to dry. I can try it though. No, there. See, you should definitely do it the other way around. You should definitely do your normal distress and then your oxides. Definitely. Because it's the oxides that are, you know, the grumpy ones. And then do it again. Just get in. Going over the top. How cool does that look? That resist is ace, isn't it? It's the texture that it gives you. Doesn't that? Yes, it does once it's dried. Thank you, Lou. That's it. I'm a bit... If I had spritzers, I'd be all right. But no idea what's going on, Lily. Because I'm not sure how long it'll take to dry, I'm a little bit thingy about using it. Let's have a little go. Let me put it. Let me pop a bit on, and we'll see. We'll see. And then if it isn't dry, then we know it just needs a bit longer. Because the thing is, right, and this is the thing we're putting it on with a sponge. Obviously, with the sponge, if I'm putting it on and I don't need to worry about how thick it is, so if I'm putting one of my embossing powders over the top, one of my glazes, then putting it on with sponge is great. If, however, I need to be mindful of how much I'm putting on, like how thick it is, then obviously that's when you need to be a bit careful. So maybe you want to apply it with a felt or something, because the sponge is going to take up a lot of product. I mean, I can still feel it, you know, it does soak it in. And obviously I am going to wipe that off because I know I'll forget, because I don't want that on my stencil. And then, so with this one, take that. So that's to one side, drying off for a bit. This is, because I want to show you glaze on your oxides, okay? So, but I'm just going to go on with a background and just make my background. And then I can show you that beautiful glaze, because it's cool on your oxides as well. So I showed you if you were just going over your background and creating a really nice, smooth, beautiful glazed finish. But what you can do with it Got loads of goodies there. Remember, someone's gonna win. Let's use, with the butterfly one, let's use this. Tell you what, I haven't done for ages. Don't do it now, Leonie. Just stick to your plan. Right. So, going in with a glaze. So now what it's going to do, because I'm going directly over with the glaze, it'll just give you a beautiful effect through the stencil. And I'm only, mind you, I could put a little bit of the embossing powder on as well, couldn't I? But look at that. See how you've got that beautiful sort of glaze? Doesn't that look effective? I love that. I just think that looks so pretty and really, really interesting. And the thing is, with something like this, you could easily take that and then put some of your actual embossing glaze over it. So you could do, you know, you could have part of it that's just got that beautiful sheen, and then part of it that's got your embossing glaze over the top. So you could have like a mixture of different looks, and it's super subtle. It's just when, oh, thank you, Sylvia. Require a coffee break, a comfort break, and a drink before Code of Silence. Oh, I haven't seen Code of Silence. Is it good? Oh, might have to watch that. Lovely to have your company. Oh, Sylvia, thank you ever so much, my love. Oh, and Sylvia, we've got some new stamps on order. Art Inspirations have got some new stamps. Yay, finally. Isn't that nice? So that glaze, it's an interesting product. I haven't used this before, can you believe it? No, it isn't raised. It's actually, yeah, smooth, innit? But it looks it, doesn't it? I mean, where it's a bit thick around the edges, that is a bit, yeah, that's a bit, but really it just smooths on. It's really nice stuff. It's like that is just smooth, you know, where it's on there. It's just nice and smooth, which looks effective. Did I put it on there? Yeah, I did. It's on that side. I can hardly tell now, but it is there. You can see it. You can see the kind of glaze compared to on that side. It's really matte. But it's interesting. It's subtle, but I like that. I like the subtlety. But I do love it with your embossing powders. So, like if I take this, and I was saying about it staying open long enough. So now with my Distress Oxide, now I have to be careful because this is oxide. Because it's an oxide, let's spritz it and water it. Because the thing is with oxides, these do stay open longer. So where a normal Distress would dry, your oxides, of course, are going to stay open longer. So it means if I put embossing powder on that, I'm glad I remembered that. I was about to dump embossing powder on it. Did anybody else think, she's going to put embossing powder on it, it's going to cover the whole... Yeah, I did actually forget for a minute there. And now I'm putting my paper towel on, so now I'm hoping that I don't just ruin it and completely lift everything off. I'm thinking it won't because it's a wax. I'm thinking the water, it'll be fine. But, oh, that's so lovely, isn't it? That's so lovely. And, look, you can still see it. Can you see it? How cool is that? Nice, isn't it? Now, I don't know if I feel that... it might be dry, but let's have a see. Now, this is really experimental. I'm going to use fossilised amber. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I have opened it. I can't get you undone. Now, I don't know if it'll still be wet enough. Let's have a see. Let's have an experiment. Probably last experiment because of time. Oh my gosh, with so many other products that I wanted to... Oh, it's open still. That's beautiful. So many products. I mean, I could just chun her on for hours. I couldn't because I can't stand up. But... I'm back with you as well tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. for All and Create. We are back doing, oh, I love that colour, that fossilised amber on there. That is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So let's just try this. And then I can't remember what else is happening next week. I know our next workshop's in Manchester, and that's in a couple of weeks' time. Which is super exciting. There we go. The new Stamperia goodies are looking gorgeous. And the Ciao Bella stuff is, oh my gosh. And look at that. You know, I was saying, I know I needed a dry piece of paper, but you know what, Ali, I couldn't be bothered. You know, I was saying about the colours underneath, they change, and that's why I've got the green, because the yellow sitting over the blue gives me that wonderful green. The yellow sitting over the pink gives me orange. How cool is that? And that is the best way of showing it. Isn't that cool? So we have gone from fossilised amber, one of my favourite yellows, and we have gone and we've got orange and we've got green. How cool. Look at that green. And it's a beautiful colour as well, isn't it? Isn't that nice? That is the best way of showing that embossing powder, isn't it? It is so cool. It is so cool. So many products, so little of a budget. I know, Chris. It is so annoying, isn't it? I know. I say this with shoes. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I'm so pleased with that. I'm so pleased with that. Now, the last thing. Let me see. Oh, no, it isn't dry because I've just put my finger in it. So that wouldn't. It might resist. Let me just see. If I've got... The only problem is, I don't know where my distress sprays are. The only problem is, I don't know if... So, we were seeing if the glaze, this will act as a resist, but it needs to dry. And the problem is, this is definitely isn't dry. So, I won't be able to wipe it, but... Oh, that looks good. So I can't wipe it, but obvs, you can see that it resists. Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. And don't mess, girl. Go on then, mess. I knew a spritzer. Obviously, you'd be able to do it with your ink pad, but because it's still wet, I can't do it with my ink pad. Because obviously... I'll just drag the ink like there. I dragged it because it was still open there. That means, however, that because it's still open, I bet I'd still be able to put embossing powder on. Obviously, because everything's wet, embossing powder is going to stick to everything. But I think interesting actually, because with that, I didn't heat set it. I haven't tried this yet. I mean, I'm thinking that will flatten it out anyway and dry the actual wax, but I haven't tried it. Like I said, this is my first experiment today with it. See, that has kind of flattened it a bit, so the resist isn't as keen there, can you see? But the resist there is really keen. I think if I'd let it dry properly, because what it's going to do, the colour was sitting on top of it. So unlike your resist spray dries really quick. So whereas this, can you see there? But the colour was sat on top of it. So the colour has actually, and it has dried now, but it's taken as it's dried into the card, because the colour was sitting on top, it's disappeared into it with the colour, so it's held on to it. If I'd have waited for this to dry, so if you want to use this as a resist, I need to watch it again. Yeah, it's all there. I have gone through a lot of things, haven't I, quite quickly. If you are doing this and you want it to be a resist, put it on, then let that dry properly, and then you can use it as a resist. If you want to be impatient like I was doing and spritz on it and allow it to dry naturally. Don't allow it to dry with, don't heat set it, because obviously when you heat set it, that's when it's gonna sink into it, which I think is really interesting. And yeah, absolutely, Tim Holtz, that's the wonderful thing about Tim. Tim does go through all his products with incredible detail. I mean, he is fabulous. And this is a nice thing about all the range, isn't it? You know, when you buy a distressed product, you know that Tim's there. Tim's going to be creating loads and loads of goodies, but also there's a lot of people using distress. So it means when you look on YouTube, there's loads of ideas and inspiration. So it's definitely worth, I love that, looking online and seeing, but it's amazing. Hope you're not going to ask any questions at the end. I'm not answering. I'm not asking questions now. Aren't they beautiful? I just love this stuff, and look at that. It's so cool. That's my favourite though. He's just ace, isn't it? And that was my finished piece. I'm going to pop one of these. I'll pop my favourite on the wall, because everybody, and that wall is full. Let me spin you my camera, because it's time. Oh, my autofocus. I've turned my autofocus off by accident. Oh, I haven't just turned my autofocus. Oh, no, I haven't. What have I done? Why isn't it doing selfie? Oh, I'm being stupid. I'm being stupid. I forgot it up there. I were a mess. Anyway, it don't matter what I were doing. It is a very full wall. I'll have to make sure. I mean, not my photos of my dogs. I'm not sending you them, but you won't want them anyway. And I think some of it, I think I'll be able to give it all away. I think it'll be all right. Yeah. Woohoo! So I have to pick a winner. Now, how I'm going to do this, right? I'm literally going to look away. I'm just going to scroll through all these comments. So I'm hoping you've commented. The YouTube come up and the Facebook comments, they all come up, right? Oh, I keep sticking my hands in that water. And I'm going to scroll through without looking, and I'm going to pick someone at random. That's how I'm doing it, right? So that's how I'm deciding who's going to win the stuff on my back wall, right? And it is from comments. And I'm going to scroll back and I'm going to scroll forward like this, okay? That's how I'm doing it. If I cut the live off by mistake doing this, soz. And I'm going to try not to press too hard, because obviously I don't want to, let me get to the beginning, because I don't want to